Alright, notes for tonight. Solving equations with variables on both sides. Now we've talked about one and two step equations, then distributive property and combining like terms. Today we're going to get into when there's variables on both sides. So if we notice this, we have our x over here and we have our 4x over here. Our goal, we need to get only have variables on one side of our equation. So when we look at this, we have 2x over here and 4x is over here. It's easier if we eliminate this 2x, so we get rid of this 2x. So we do 2x minus 2x. That's going to cross out, and we're not going to have any x's on the left side. So what we have to do on this side is also subtract 2x. So whatever we do to one side, we do to the opposite side. So since we subtracted, we got rid of this 2x, we're going to get rid of this 2x over here. So now we bring down this 5 equals 4x minus 2x will give us 2x, and then we can bring down this negative 9. Now we're down to a two-step equation. So once again, we want to do the additive inverse here. So we're going to add 9 to both sides because that eliminated that 9. 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 equals 2x. Now the 2 and the x are connected, so we want to divide to break them apart. 2 times x, so we're going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So 7 is equal to x. So that's how we get number 1. And when we look at number 2, once again, we have x's on both sides here. So we have a 3a on this side and a negative 2a on this side. So we have a's on both sides. So we need to get rid of one of these 8's. Well, if I want to get rid of this negative 2a, I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. So I'm going to get rid of a negative 2a. I want to add 2a. So negative 2a plus 2a, that cancels each other out. But if I add 2a here, I'm going to add 2a onto this side. So 3a plus 2a will give me 5a. We bring down this negative 1, and it equals 14. So now I have a two-step equation, so what I want to do is I need to get rid of this negative 1, so we do plus 1 to both sides. So the 1's cancel out. I bring down my 5a, and 14 plus 1 gives us 15. Now, 5 times a, so we have to get rid of the 5, so we break that apart. We need to divide by 5, and a is equal to 3. So that's how we get this solution. We continue, we look at number 3. Once again, we have b's on both sides. So we have 12b over here, a 9b over here. Once again, I'm going to move the smaller b. So I'm going to get rid of the smaller b. So I'm going to subtract that 9b. So I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to cross off my 9b. But I did on this side. It means I have to subtract my 9b on this side also. Well, 12b minus 9b gives us 3b. Bring down to plus 3 equals, bring down to negative 18. Make sure you get that sign, the negative sign with it, so it's negative 18. Subtract 3, we need to get rid of the 3. Subtract our 3, bring down 3b, and negative 18 minus 3 gives us negative 21. And then we divide by 3. And negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7. And then we get to number 4. And when you notice number 4, what happens is we have a y on the left side, a y on the right side. Well, I need to get rid of my 2y, so I'm going to subtract 2y. But what happens here is 2y minus 2y, that actually cancels out 2. And I'm left with this thing, 4 equals 6. Well, 4 does not equal 6. That's false. That's a false statement. So that's a false statement. So if this is a false statement, that means there's no solution. We cannot have a solution for this because it doesn't matter what number you put in for y, it'll never be true. So if you put in, if we put 6 in for y, well 2 times 6 plus 4 equals 6 times 2 times 6. Well, this is 12 and this is 12, but 12 plus 4 will never equal 6 plus 12. So that will never be true. So that's why there's no solution. So whenever you get to a false statement, there's no solution. Whereas if it would be a true statement, it would be all solutions are all real numbers. And now with The next one, there was, when we printed this up, a little error. So if you go through a company, use two different trucks. The first truck can transport, you should have this X cubic yards. The second one should be Y cubic yards. And if the first truck makes S trips to the job, while the second makes T trips to the job. So, well, when I put this up there, the X and Y didn't come in. So now we can figure out, well, S plus T, well, S stands for the first truck, and T stands for the second truck, so we have the first truck trips to the job. Alright, first truck trips plus the second truck trips, and that will give us our total amount of trips. And then X plus Y, the first truck can transport X cubic yards, so this is the first truck cubic yards. First truck's cubic yards plus second truck's cubic yards. And that will give us the total cubic yards. Brought to the job site, or transport to the job site. Now try to figure out what C and D mean tomorrow, and we will go over that in class tomorrow.